This is a really big game, but luckily I've been fortunate enough to play in it 2 times already, so I'm kind of used to the atmosphere and what to expect. This is a very physical team. This is a great defense that we're going up against, and we're going to have to play really well.
Does it make it any different being number 1 versus number 2 at home for the Dakota Marker, real kind of national championship feeling to this one? Does it make it any different this year?
I don't think it's different than the years past. Like I said, we're going to have to play really well, and I think the guys are really chomping at the bit to get that marker back.
This is a team that's had your guys' number recently. Teams don't beat NDSU 2 years in a row. So does it kind of add a little bit more of extra emotion into this week and some extra motivation for you guys?
I think for sure. Especially these upperclassmen want that rock back, especially if it's their last year. I kind of took the blame too last year for not winning that game. I had 2 or 3 turnovers that game, so I'm going to have to play a lot better than that. And I think these guys are really chomping at the bit.
Tell me about your relationship with South Dakota State. That was your first real game in your true freshman year, second start last year. There's a lot of emotion, I have to imagine, with you with this game.
Oh, for sure, and I know a few guys on the team too. It's such a huge rivalry in college football, and it's very important for me and especially the guys that have played before me to win this game. So really just cutting it loose and playing fast. I think that's what our guys are going to do.
You've won national titles, league titles. You haven't beat the Rabbits. Is that a box that still needs to be checked? Is that something that you think about?
Absolutely. Again, there's a lot of added weight to this game, I would say. But, at the same time, we're going to do our thing and we're going to play our football. And, we just have to have a great week of practice and preparation to get ready for these guys.
Yeah, you've been up over 70% completion the last 2 weeks. Is this something where you're starting to get a little bit more comfortable with these guys without Christian, without Noah, et cetera, or is the game slowing down a little bit for you? What's been going well over the last 2 weeks?
I think I've really just taken what the defense has given me. I haven't tried to force the ball too much. And, like you said, I feel like my mind is a lot clearer than it was earlier this year. I feel like, I'm a lot more confident in myself and in the receivers. We've kind of gotten that timing now. Some of those guys that didn't play a lot last year, Zach and, Lippy, those are guys that we've had to count on the last 2 weeks, and I feel really comfortable throwing them the ball.
You have to be just over the moon happy for Zach. Everything he's been through, like in his career, injuries, et cetera, for him to have a game like that and to be kind of having a season like the one he's having has to just make everyone feel awesome.
The kid works so hard, We stay after practice for 20, 30 minutes every day, just working timing. And, just for chances like, last week where, he can have a big game. So I just feel really comfortable and, I'm very excited for the future with Zach.
You haven't played in front of a sellout crowd. It's going to be a sellout crowd on Saturday. How does that change for you personally? You played in front of some big ones, not a sellout here.
I would kind of, maybe I would compare it to the JMU game. I feel like it's going to be a great atmosphere. There's probably going to be a lot of blue in the crowd too, but, I'm really excited for these Bison fans to be cheering us on too.
South Dakota State, the best defense you've probably going to face?
They're up there for sure. I faced some really good defenses. I thought James Madison last year was really good. We've had 2 or 3 defenses this year that I thought were very solid. But yeah, they're definitely up there.
What are the biggest keys for you individually, playing quarterback?
Taking care of the football. I felt like the last 2 times that I played them, I didn't take care of the ball. So, like I said earlier, just taking care of the football, taking what the defense gives me, and letting our dudes make plays.
Cam, your relationship with Adam Bach, describe that from your high school days and seeing him just turn into a stud linebacker at South Dakota State.
Well, I knew he was going to be a stud right out of high school. I think he was overlooked by bigger schools. So I knew he was going to play right away and do exceptional. It's just so fun to be out there with him, and obviously it's a little weird. He's on the other side of the ball, and usually he was on my team for the last 4 years. So, but no, him and I stay in contact, and I'm very happy for what he's done.
How much does that say about your hometown to have that kind of produce that kind of football? I know I talked to you and your dad about that before the NFL draft of having that kind of talent out of Solon, Iowa.
You know, I would like to give the credit to my dad for that. You know, I think he did a great job of developing athletes like myself, Adam, AJ Coons, who's also on South Dakota State. And then, you know, watching the Thursday night football game, watching Tyler Linderbaum play, you know, there's been some really good players that have came out of Solon. So, yeah, I would like to give the credit to my dad for that one, for sure.